Good morning, good afternoon, greetings and salutations, and good evening to wherever you are. Today I have Francesco, who is the CEO of Duci, which is an Italian coffee club, which is in Seoul in South Korea. And Francesco is also a BA ambassador for Seoul in South Korea. Welcome to the little podcast, Francesco. Now, we spoke ages ago and you were doing some art related stuff, and then you were going to come on, and then something happened, and then we spoke again, and now you have this amazing and wonderful DuciDuci Italian coffee club. And as I understand it, this is a business that you've had for a couple of years, and you're incorporating BSV into events that you actually do. Would you like to say hello and give us a bit of background, who you are and what you've been doing in the space, and yeah, tell us all about your little project.
Yeah, thank you. DuciDuci, it's an online shopping mall in South Korea, and I've been doing this job for the last 11 years. And what we do is, importing Italian food and beverage and distribute it in South Korea. So it's not a coffee club. It's a food business, just an old style food business. My interest in BSV started just after the fork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, I started with Bitcoin Cash, and then I followed naturally the people that I admired, and then I thought they were reliable, and doing things interesting, like a Wright or a Ryan. So I I followed them on BSV, and in the period of the NFT trend, I started to do this concept of curating art with bullish art. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
And that was the period of the pandemic. So it was a time that, I couldn't go out from Korea. So that helped me to interact with more people from abroad and enjoying this trend of the digital art. For 2 years, actually, I've been doing bullish art, knowing a lot of artists from different countries. We did a nice collection, like a Pago Sapiens.
Yeah, I remember the pugs.
Yeah. But then, the NFT came to a point that it seemed to me that it lost the interest from the community.
Do you think it's because oversaturated a little bit?
No, I think it's because the overall price went down. The bear market became the normality, and naturally, people stopped buying, and that's why the artists also they lost the interest in producing.
Yeah.
On BSV, also the main problem was that the secondary market didn't really start. Much segmentation, Twitch doing something, Relax do another thing, take NFT, too many protocols. And my figure of curating, so to be in the middle of an artist and a community, I also feel like it's not needed anymore, because many artists actually they couldn't do by themselves.
Yeah.
And also I didn't want to keep them tied to me, so I took a break, and my main job is importing food, and this is what I do for a living. So naturally, I thought, how can I use what I learned during the bullish art experience, and this, give it my small contribution to spread this technology, the BSV. So I just came with a simple idea of integrating with my real job, which is selling food. And so just to make a little bit distinction, because DuciDuci Korean website, it's all in Korean, and I didn't want to confuse the the current users. So I just made a new site called the Duci Club. And this was also because the RelayX launched this nice idea. There is the RelayX Club.
I have seen the RelayX Club, and it does seem to be quite popular. So this is DuciDuci, and this is the Duci Club.
As a food community more, yeah. So because of the RelayX Club, I think it's a really good development for the NFT on BSV, because finally there is this feed where people can not just put their profile as NFT, just like Twitter does, or content shared on the platform. If you attach an image, that must be an NFT. So it's a natural way to promote your NFTs. At first, I had this idea that some people call me like a boomer. I learned this word that they say you are a boomer, because I was just thinking, I make NFT of my item. People can buy an NFT and later they can redeem for a bag of coffee, for a bottle of olive oil. During Twitter Space, that sometimes I like to join and have some talk, despite the difference of time. Jack, the CEO of RelayX, and other people really say to me like, no way, this is old style, you're thinking the wrong way. And I just, listen, and the next day I say, okay, let's follow this suggestion. And so I imagine the Duci Club, not just NFT selling items, but making NFT that are items about food, about beverage, because I have a passion for Italian food. I'm an expat living in Korea. All my life is promoting Italian food and Italian culture. So these NFT are about ingredients, something many people know.
Was this exactly what I was just going to ask? I mean, could you get an NFT, like NFT recipe cards and things like that? I mean, back in the day, I used to buy like sets, and it'd be a big box and there'd be like 150 or 200 odd recipe cards. So I could see that would work really well as well with NFTs, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, recipes, testing note.
Yeah.
But what I start to do following those suggestions is really creating items, as you see this pixel art that are created with OpenAI, this tool that everybody uses these days.
Okay, so collectibles we've got here. These rare steaks.
Yeah, this gadget looks like almost a Minecraft type of items. There are about Italian ingredients, pizza, Parmigiano, these kind of things. And I imagine some rare items, some epic. If you scroll down, you will see step by step there are
epic chef.
And so, of course, everybody can make any of these. Nowadays, you just use OpenAI and you don't even have to create it yourself. But because I have a real business, I have a real company, a registered company, we do what we do, I thought that this can actually give an extra value connected to the real work. And so a part of this kind of a cute pixel image, there are also membership, NFT membership. So we have one specialty coffee membership and a general DuciDuci membership. So the idea is you buy one of that, you will get 25% discount on anything you purchase.
Oh, that's awesome. That
Unfortunately, it seems like people don't really like to buy things with BSV. I don't understand why, because to me, I'm a trader, not like trader in the crypto sense. I'm a trader of food. We travel from Italy and sell to Korea. So this easy of transferring money with BSV. When I buy things, when I sell, would make things much easier. But my experience is like people rather like to buy abstract things at the moment, like a caprese salad, pixelated caprese with BSV. Please don't ask me why, but so I'm following the market. They like this way, and But I think I liked what Jake suggested me and the other guys on Twitter Space, that this create a brand power somehow. People
Yeah.
like receive an airdrop. So we just start also roasting coffee in Korea. For around 10 years, I've been importing coffee from Sicily.
So your original heritage is Sicilian then?
Yeah, I'm Sicilian,
Yeah.
and actually DuciDuci means dolce in Sicilian. Dolce, dolce is sweet. It's what you call a dessert. So I've been importing Sicilian coffee in Korea, but now we also roast here, and we do single origins and blend. And so the idea of NFT, especially with coffee, as you said before, a testing note, that a beautiful image that describe, for example, the characteristic of Yegarchef, the famous Ethiopian beans, with some nice image. Of course, not making with OpenAI, because OpenAI is good for simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So probably we're going to expand the NFTs, but always connected to the either coffee, wine, food. So with some specific thing.
Have you ever imported Kopi Luwak, which is supposed to be like the most expensive coffee in the world?
What is
It's
this coffee? Sorry, I don't know.
It's called Kopi Luwak, so it's KOPI
Is it what the cat eat?
LUWAK. It's an Asian palm civet. Basically, it's from Indonesia, and it's about $600 per pound.
But is it
And
what the cat usually eat? The beans, and because of
yes,
this,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
we don't do that.
Okay, but you know which one I'm on about. I would love
Yeah,
to
sure.
try
It's very
Kopi
famous
Luwak.
because of this extra fermentation that
Yeah,
happen on the
the little
inside
critter
the
that.
animal. I'm doing the coffee roaster project with a Korean business owner that already had his own roastery, because you don't just start to roast coffee suddenly.
Yeah.
Just we kind of combine well, and he doesn't like to deal with this type of coffee. He feels rather disgusted.
Well, now you've mentioned it, what is the process? You buy the beans in, I mean, and then how do you roast it? Is it a big kiln fire, or are they secrets to the trade that you can't give away?
No, it's very easy. Nowadays I think, roaster is something that many people even do, like
Yes,
at home, with small machine. Here in Korea, there is a really nice brand called Stronghold. It's a Korean roaster a device that is very compact because it's electric, and very expensive actually, because it doesn't use gas. So it's environmental friendly, because there is no gas. Also, I believe it has a better aroma, and most important, there is a tablet that you interact with. You can see the profile of your roaster. Usually, it's a curve that you follow when the beans start to crack.
Oh, cool.
And then whenever you are like the result, you can save the profile, and in the future you can just repeat. And so this even digitalized way of roastery, it's like almost a computer. So if you like things, it will just redoing what you've done.
Yeah.
The green bean are never same, because depending on the season, on the weather, can be different, but at least you can try similar and have some coherent taste.
How many different brands of coffee have you got at the moment then? I love coffee.
On my website now, I think we have around 8 single origins, and
Nice.
but not this website. So this is the club, NFT. You see the gourmet box.
Okay, let's see what's in the
It's
gourmet
the
box.
idea that you could buy one item that includes several items. As you see here, you buy with PayPal,
Yeah.
I haven't integrated yet hand cash because I need some time. And then every 2 or 3 months, the gourmet box will change. In the future, will be about, I don't know, some pasta, balsamic, something.
Oh, that's a really good idea. So this will be sort of like a special time limited offer for say coffee, and then we'll go to pasta, and then you might do olive
Yeah,
oil because you were
yeah,
telling
and
me.
always a set, because shipping right now, using hand cash pay or even relay, there is not a system actually to integrate BSV payment on an e-commerce. So I just want to make a free shipment, and so I need to optimizing the cost. So they'll
Mhm,
say, okay, shipment is free, and I need certain item to be sold together rather than just one item.
mhm.
But if you open the main site, actually, the Korean website, which is DuciDuci Chom, Chom is Korean, sorry, .co.kr.
Oh, it's all in Korean.
It's in
Oh,
Korean.
this looks amazing. Go to it, and this is the shopping mall. Oh, so this is your little shop. Oh, this looks lovely. How
Yeah,
cute.
so this is actually uh, the shop.
Okay.
Um, I was trying to do a DuciDuci international way, but at the moment, complicated.
Yeah.
So, okay, your browser is translating in English, so you can. So if you go to
Yes.
all product and choose coffee,
I lived in Sardinia for about 8 weeks, not very long, but I spent 8 weeks in Sardinia in one summer, and I spent 8 weeks in Torino as well, which is Torino, they told me was the home of Italian chocolate. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it was
yeah,
absolutely delicious. It's melted chocolate.
Torino, it's very, I mean, Torino, Piemonte,
Yeah.
the region, it's very famous for hazelnut and
Mm.
truffle. There is the town of Alba, which is most famous for white truffle and a lot of wine. So in the page of coffee, you can see we have the two coffee from a Sicilian brand called Van Keri, which is the first item I imported about
This one.
12 years ago. My importer adventure started with this item. And
Okay.
then now on the right and below, these are all coffee produced by us in Korea. And we have a decaffeine, Swiss water, which is the safest method to decaffeinate the beans. And then, all the single origin. Um, do you enjoy a single origin coffee?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking your shop must smell divine. Seriously, like there's nothing. I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit of a coffee freak, to be honest with you. So for me, there's nothing better than the smell of fresh roasted coffee. Fresh roasted bread and fresh roasted coffee. Yeah.
And for Italian people, coffee is just espresso all
Mm.
day long. But
It's strong.
my knowledge of coffee in Korea is grown to, understand the origin, different method of enjoying, like drip. When
Yeah.
you do drip of a single origin, you can enjoy the characteristic much better. Uh, and so, on BSV, there is nobody selling coffee. I hope maybe some user like to support us trying some coffee, because coffee is something easy to send anywhere in the world. Yeah.
You're definitely hitting on the right product as well. But I mean, this is interesting because you're saying about sort of difference in price compared to what it was 2 years ago to now. Is there a big
That's,
difference?
for coffee, not that much. Our supplier increased a little bit, uh, but for pasta, uh, yeah, I mean the product from Italy, they had a lot of increase because of the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
Ukraine provide a lot of packaging and ingredient like flour. Some artisan pasta like what we have from Napoli, they
Hmm.
have increased. Some other, they blend the flour, they increase so much, like 70%, and we just stop dealing with them.
Okay. Yeah.
For
Okay. So
coffee, it's from many countries in the world, so not so much, fortunately.
So let's have a look. You got pasta. Oh, he's gone back to Korean. Oh no. So which one is the pasta?
The first one, that is
That
exactly,
one, pasta. Okay. I
is the
spent.
item we mostly sell in Korea. We have a
Oh,
really
you got
great
back from
pasta,
school. Oh wow.
truffle pasta, pasta from Gragnano called Gentile.
Yeah.
So I'm not selling, anything. This is a very high-end
Quality.
selection. I have a spelt pasta. I'm the only company to import spelt to South Korea. And
Is there a big Italian community in Korea as well? I mean, are there a lot of expats in Korea?
there are many expand. The Italian community is not that big, but it's getting bigger
Yeah, yeah.
every year. Um, During COVID, of course, the expat community has been, you know, limited because we couldn't meet. In Korea, it was not serious like in UK or in Australia, but nevertheless, people didn't have any network events because what's the point to meet with a mask?
Yeah, I
And
go
Korea
completely.
was very late in removing this restriction. So by the end of January, finally they say, okay, now you don't need to wear the mask indoor, and that's why, as I mentioned before, tomorrow we will have our first event. That is a DuciDuci event,
Now
and
this
so
is no, this is if I go back to the coffee club, is that event on there? The olive
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oil. Okay, so
But again, it's not a coffee club. I know you like coffee,
it's
that's why
because
you.
it says Italian food,
DuciDuci
club,
club.
duci.
So
Yeah.
anything about food, coffee, Italian way of living, la dolce vita.
So
Yeah,
explain your tasting events.
yeah. So in 2011, if I remember well, I've been doing Italian wine club in Seoul, and this was much before opening this company. And I was organizing event with 100 people, enjoying wine, enjoying socializing. Because as I expect, this was first of all how I want to spend time and making friends.
Yeah.
Because when you live in another country, you have to rebuild all your network. And those events were very successful. Now I'm trying to do this again, finally, because during pandemic, I've been thinking, I miss those times. So actually tomorrow we have our first event in a nice area in Seoul called Honde, and it will be a buffet menu of Sicilian food made by a Sicilian chef, and we will test olive oil with this kind of illustration where our guest will be guided how to enjoy the olive oil and how to perceive. Because sometimes people don't know, they just take a spoon of olive oil and drink. But actually, there is a way, you will hold the cup and warm it up, and then first of all, you will smell it and try to have this first uh, feeling of the aroma.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
after you drink it, and that is like a confirmation, like a checking. And
So it's,
so,
it's very much like wine tasting, but you don't swill. Do you swill it around the mouth so that
or
the
you can do
palate
something
is?
like letting the air pass in through
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
nose so that it can help to feel more the aroma. The wine, it's like people can start to make poetry and say, I taste some wild strawberry grow in the Himalaya. But with olive oil, actually, you can have this perception. That's the
Mhm.
only thing um, allowed by the organization that set this standard. So you can, in the fruity spectrum, you can feel either flower, tomato, almond, artichoke, apple, or grass. And so by giving this, we guide them, say, okay, what do you feel? Are you feeling something similar to an almond, something? And then we just a circle. And here, this is like a volume. They can express how is the spiciness, how is the bitter, and so on. So this is like a game to guide them to express what they feel, because I do this for my job when I meet chef and I do the tasting of olive oil. When I say, are you tasting tomato? Sometimes, when I just say tomato, they are like, oh, really? This is so.
It just, no,
Yeah,
now I
if
can
you don't
taste it.
say, maybe they cannot even find.
How
But
bizarre.
if they feel, they love, and they become more close to the product, and probably when they do to their guests, they also want to show their ability to describe. So tomorrow we already have around 40 people who did the reservation. They already paid the event. The event will be organized by DuciDuci, sponsored by DuciDuci. And since we have these people there, and I'm still a bit passionate about BSV, I want to bring this technology to them. And so we have prepared this kind of illustration too.
Okay,
where
so
we tell the guest, without pushing, because when you talk about Bitcoin and NFT, people who are not familiar, they might be alarmed, like what they want investment. I want avoid this at all cost. So this will be just for people who want to receive this painting of a olive oil. This is like a commemorative NFT. It only can be received by a guest who come to this event of tomorrow. So another way to make this concept of NFT just useful in all the way on a people gathering, not just online. Of course, online people can still buy, resell, just keep if they want for the future. And we're going to make an event every month. We already have a schedule for March and April. And in that occasion also, we will say, we have this thing you can receive. We're probably going to airdrop the NFT of the food that they enjoyed. For example, we have a pasta tomorrow called busiate. It's a traditional pasta from Trapani, Sicily.
Okay.
Very particular. And so, using the NFT for the food business. That's the idea.
No, it's a really great idea. It's just something extra and special that they can take away with them as well. And actually, it's a way of introducing people to, like you say, to BSV, to NFTs if they've never come across NFTs before. As you said, you're a boomer. So possibly if your clientele are also boomers, they may not have even come across NFTs yet. I mean, it is a thing,
A few weeks ago, I met one Italian guy. He's 24 years old. In Korea, when Italian people send me mail, they want to have some information. I'm always really happy to meet them, get to know them. And when I talk with this guy, and he found that I know NFT, this kind of thing, he was surprised because he said to me, my friends have no idea what is this. And here you are. He saw that I am much more, close to these things than his friends of his age. So I'm a special boomer.
Special boomer. Now, I would say you are far too young to be a boomer, to be quite honest with you. But, there we go. So let's go back to this painting. Who is the artist?
Well, this I would rather keep anonymous for this one.
Okay, fine. Okay.
But what I can say, this is original. Yeah.
Okay. And it's oils.
Never be redone.
I like it. I mean, I do like it. I think
with bullish art, I had collaboration with more than 27 artists from different countries. And some of them we are still in touch, and they are interested in developing some artwork for this new concept of the Duci Club.
That's really cool. Like, it's just a great idea and a great way of incorporating it all. So, is there's going to be 5 different olive oils? Then is this how it works?
That is just a photo of a professional tasting done in Sicily by Arche, which is one of our producers. Tomorrow we're going to try 3 olive oils. 2 are from
Okay.
Tuscany and 1 from Sicily.
I mean, after as well. I mean, it's there's food and everything as well. So like, you get the bread and you can dip your olive oil in the bread and everything, because that's what I love
Olive
doing.
oil will be just olive oil, because when you taste, it's better than you don't mix with food. Maybe you can, wait a little bit after trying the other, drink some water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe some bread just, to take a break. The food will be beside. There is a lot of food going to be there. There will be some entertainment. There is a Sicilian guy showing. I mean, he's a dancer, and he's going to show a traditional dance
Oh,
from Sicily
cool.
called the tarantella.
Oh,
So
this sounds great. I want to come, but like, I'm in the UK. It cost me a bit too much. I might not get there in time
it
either.
would be nice to make a Duci Club in the UK.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Italian, way of living, this food. I mean, it's
Mm.
like people are very interested and they like. So having with a social atmosphere, time together, I think will always work. I got
Yeah, yeah.
emailed by expat Indian people, people from anywhere. They say to me, "Oh, I used to live in London. I miss Italian food," and they want to join.
Especially, well, good Italian food from a good Italian chef is quite, is something to be adored, to be quite honest with
Tell you that the Korean chefs make amazing
you.
Italian
Good
food.
past, do they? So that's good. They've
Yes,
got good
because
teachers then,
they
Sicilian teachers.
they go to Italy a lot. They learn, they study. Korean people are very focused in learning. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I mean
yeah.
there are places just so, but there are places that are really great cuisine.
How did you get involved with the BA then? Because you're a BA ambassador in Seoul.
Uh-huh.
So
You
how
remember
did,
in Seoul there was the CoinGeek conference
yeah,
that it
wasn't that
was.
like what? I mean, I don't think it was the first one. Was it like the second one? I think the first one is in Vancouver, if I remember rightly, from my Christmas quiz that I did with Becky. But yeah, I do. I remember there was a Seoul conference. So you went to the conference?
Yeah, I was here, and so because I was already active doing several things, I was talking with Ryan, I was talking with Jimmy and Alex, the Coin Geek. So I just to say, guys, if you need any support here to organize, I'm more than happy to support. And so I did a little bit of help, for the banners and some logistic, checking some event location. But the most things I really enjoy is that, this kind of family, friends. When
Hmm.
the event started, I got to meet all of them. So it was not just anymore somebody that I talk online, but we met face to face. I've been in the conference every day and listening to people, and then after I kept in touch with especially Jimmy, who followed my work with bullish art.
Yeah, Jimmy
That
Wynn.
yes, that I'm not a coder. I'm not. I didn't develop something like an app. I was just trying to bridge artists and collectors.
Yeah.
So he saw probably in my way of doing things a way could be useful for adoption. So yeah, I mean, they invite me step by step. Yeah, just naturally, nothing special.
So do
Uh,
you do BA meetups, BSV meetups at the restaurant?
you mean in Korea?
Yeah, yeah. Do you?
Well, the in Korea actually there is probably another person in charge of this, but I'm not sure if they do anything.
Okay.
So my involvement is the idea that even though I'm in Korea, I'm supposed to promote to the Italian community, because online you can actually
Anyway.
promote it to anybody. For me, it's not just Italian or nationality. Anybody interested in learning about BSV, but from a very simple term, like a usage. So, for example, now what we are doing with DuciDuci, tomorrow we will have more than 50 or 60 people.
That's
And
cool.
eventually everybody could, make a relaxed wallet. See, I'm sure nobody of them will ever heard BSV, because unfortunately it's really few people know about this. And even BTC, it's not just BSV, but BSV less. So maybe a good way to spread the word in a honest way.
No, completely. Face to face, grassroots with people that are interested in your products that you can just introduce a little bit extra to and talk to one-on-one. And I mean, it only takes one person, and then that one person can tell one other person, and then another person, and it can escalate from there. That's a great
Because
idea.
online I've been looking at the spaces, and I see people are not interested in exchanging opinion. It's just like one side fighting to the other side. There is no a real communication. But when you meet people for an interest like food, and then there is an extra, but it is not the main, then like when learning languages, there is something called vehicular. I don't know if it's English, but like a vehicle. So you learn, maybe you're trying to understand astronomy, but in English, but you are Italian. Then eventually you learn English too.
So do you speak Korean, or do you teach the Koreans Italian?
I speak Korean, but I have to learn. I will never get to a point that it's like.
But do you teach Italian as well, though?
I used to teach Italian. My first job when I came here, I've been teaching Italian in design school, fashion school, to chefs, the university. I'm graduating in language. So that was the first good idea. But then I realized that food is much better, because
food is the soul of love or something. Or am I getting that right? Maybe wrong. So what made you decide to move from Italy to Korea? Was it purely teaching? Was it what was it about Korea that enticed you?
Well, I worry it's going to be too much stereotype. It's I met my girlfriend, Korean girl.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's really cute. Bless you. Okay.
Oh yeah, I had no idea actually of Korea. I was living my life in Sicily. My plan was going to Spain because I was studying Spanish. But then, one trip in Spain, met a Korean, and the whole life changed.
Well, that's fantastic. That just goes to show, though, doesn't it? Literally, one moment in time can change.
Yeah. Now she's my wife. We have 2 kids.
Oh, congratulations. So married, children, a business, promoting BSV all the way over in Seoul. So is there anything else that you'd like to close out with? Anything that you feel that the community really should know?
I mean, I would like that everyone could try to really embed it, this technology in his own life. Because even myself, when I was doing the bullish art, it was something abstract beside. Maybe I was afraid to really put my main business together with this NFT and blockchain stuff, because there is. It's not easy. Sometimes people, when they listen blockchain, they go, in alarm mode. They worry. This is something.
Kind of lack of understanding. I suppose that's one of the things, is trying to educate people in a correct way. I mean, I can't say that I get it right all the time, but I do listen to Craig, and I think he's probably the best person to listen to try and at least get the information and giving out there to people in a correct format. But I do understand what you're saying, especially when you want to, I mean, you know, it's all very well being able to build a website, HTML or WordPress, and then incorporate a, you know, just drag and drop. But if it's coding, or you've got to stick an API in there or some SDK or something, then it could be really complicated for people, you know, and that's where you need.
I'm not talking about building a business. I mean, anybody, we all have our own, you know, job and life. If you want this technology to be more popular, you could just try to implement it in your daily life. Let's say you're a writer, you could say, okay, I'm gonna sell my book also for BSV. You're a coffee shop owner, you could accept BSV. So everybody is not like living in the cloud. We all do something. We have our network. So to bring and say, this is not just the thing I do when I'm on Twitter with my, you know, friends of the BSV community, because we all know we need to bring to the real world. So what I'm trying to do here in a very humble way, it's just, you know, start to talk to the people I meet usually in my daily life for my work. I'm going to say, you know, there is this option to, could be useful. For coffee shop, would be useful to make a system of points. You know, this friend of mine was a roaster just before he made his first NFT, and at least, you know, he tried. So I also listen Craig, theoretic, you know, the theory, the knowledge, the best source. But what I'm saying is we need some tools, some example. I wish I could spend the BSV to buy something, even in Korea. But around me, I don't see many things. So sometimes, you know, you can explain to people, like say, okay, why don't you use this technology? But then they tell you, okay, what do I do with this? What you say it's money, and what do I buy? So here I am. I say, okay, anybody want to buy coffee? Maybe pasta is a too small item to send, you know, another country. You know, there will be a shipment of expensive fee of shipment. But if it's a very special item, like a limited edition, a gourmet box, or a truffle oil, something tiny but with value, why not?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense to me. Are you on Lament at all?
I'm in every BSV app because I like to use and support, you know,
the
all
apps.
the few cases. I use Lament. Yes, yeah, sure.
So how do people get in touch with you then? You're on, we've got the website, you're on Lament. Are you on Twitch?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What's your Twitch handle then?
Well, you can find Twitch as my name, Francesco. Sometimes Framore, which is my name and surname. And probably on Twitch, I'm still Bullish Art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these days, I'm very focused with the Relay X, because something I appreciate of Relay X is that it's consistent. You know, even though kind of slowly upgrading, but at least keep doing the same thing.
Okay. Now that's interesting. That's interesting, because I mean, like, it is a huge marketplace on Relay X.
And anybody can mint. So this is actually an amazing tool for adoption, because my friend,
very easy.
Never used blockchain. He made an NFT by himself. If he used another service like Twitch or Take It NFT, it wouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
So for this, I used to be very critic to Relay X when I was frustrated that there was no enough tool for bullish art, but now I see it's still the good option.
I suppose one of the things of development is that you put your item out there, you put your product out there, and then you need you need people to use it to then feed back to you what they need and what, because I remember myself that there wasn't like a royalty fee that you could have on the secondary market.
Now there is.
Now there is. Yeah. So
you can specify another address.
Yeah.
Now
and you couldn't do audio, and now you can do audio uploads and everything as well. So I suppose it's great that, we had Liam on a long time ago, who was product manager at RelayX, and the plans for the future sounded really cool, but it just does take a long time for all of these things to come to fruition, because the development is such a long process, which is something I didn't realize, to be honest, how long the process is for developing things. It's quite a shame in a sense, but
the frustration comes from there, because as a user or business person, we would like to have the tool ready right away. But the thing is missing is actually customers. So it would be nice the community support those who are trying. Because honestly, I'm not trying to sell coffee because I expect to make a lot of money selling coffee. I will always sell more coffee in South Korea than around with BSV. But it's just fun, the idea that somebody, sitting in London or whatever, they could just order with BSV a bag of coffee and have shipped, and feel like, okay, we really have done a transaction like this.
You can get in touch here, DuciClub. So thank you so much, Francesco, for joining.
Thank you for your time.
It's been it's been really great. I'm loving your shop, your coffee, your olive tasting. I basically have just transported myself back to the beach on Sardinia, where I was living for a bit. I will probably be thinking about my time in Torino later, when I was drinking my hot chocolate and eating a wonderful pizza. So
let me have your address. I'm gonna send you some coffee made in Korea.
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Seriously, I will email you later. So thank you very much for joining me, and God bless you, and have a spectacular time. And I hope the olive tasting goes phenomenally well, and I hope everybody over there as well really enjoys the little NFTs that they're going to get, because I think this is a wonderful way to incorporate it all. And thank you so much for your time.
Thanks to you as well.